Hi, this is Ron Darling.
This is Skip Lockwood.
Hi, I'm Ron Swoboda of the 69 New York Mets, and you're listening to MetsMusings with Gary Mack.
Now it's time for some New York Mets baseball talk. Here's Gary Mack bringing you the latest news and analysis from Mets Nation and the world of baseball on another edition of Mets Musings.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Mets Musing. You know, back in the 1980s, the Mets had a punchline, and that punchline or tagline or media line, whatever you want to call it, was "The magic is back." Well, a magical trip, a magical run, whatever you want to call it, for the Mets through the playoffs continues. The journey continues as the Mets eliminated the Phillies in 4 games. Now, I know you all were watching. You know all about it. They were stymied for 6 innings or 5+ innings, and then Francisco Lindor in the 6th inning hit a grand slam home run. And the bullpens held. And the Mets walked away with a 4-1 win over the Phillies, sweeping the games in Queens at Citi Field, and did not have to go back to Philadelphia for Game 5. That's probably the biggest thing about this whole thing. They did not have to go back to Philadelphia at all. And that was the key to the whole series. Mets played great the whole series. Lots of heroes in this one. Francisco Lindor, of course, with the grand slam. He was, shuffling a little bit in the postseason so far, but when they needed him with the big hit, he was there, and he hit that. He got all of that ball. He really sucked that. Jose Quintana, I forgot to mention him last week. In the wild card series, how well he pitched in Game 3. He pitched even, equally as good, if not better. Gave up 1 run, but was fantastic for the Mets again. 5 strong innings, and he kept the Mets in the game. Yes, he did give up the 1 run, but he kept them in the game, kept the Phillies all off balance, and, made it so that Francisco Lindor could have his heroics. David Peterson pitched great again coming in from the bullpen. He got the win, so he pitched a couple of innings and looked terrific again coming from the bullpen. So he's had some big games already in the postseasons, David Peterson. He got the save in Game 3. Of the wild card game against Milwaukee, and now he got the win in the clincher, sending the Mets to the NLCS. So David Peterson having a real good offseason so far. Pete Alonso had some key hits in this series. Wasn't the Pete Alonso that we were hoping for that would carry him, but he had a couple of key home runs, got them started in Game 3 with a big home run. And so, he had a better series this time and came through with some big hits, got some rallies going, and as I said, started off the scoring in Game 3. So Pete Alonso had a much better series, and maybe it's a good sign going into this next series. He'll continue to get better and better. If he can get red hot, he's going to carry this team right through. Mark Vientos was the man, though. Holy cow. He had some series, and he had a .563 batting average, 9 hits in 16 at-bats. He had 2 home runs and 5 RBI, and he really had them. And clutch hits, too. When they needed it to get something going. Not always driving in the big runs, but to start something. He always seemed to be in the middle of something. So kudos to Mark Vientos, and really the whole team just played terrific ball. Even in game 2, the game they lost, they didn't look as sharp in that game, but they came back with a big home run, a Brandon Nimmo home run in that, and eventually lost 7-6. But battled back and sent the Phillies a message that, hey, we're not going away. We're here. This is going to be tough. And of course, they shut down. Now, the Phillies bullpen was really the culprit in this game. The Mets got to them consistently. They had, I think it was 11.37 ERA for the Phillies bullpen in this 4-game series, and they did not look good at all. But they'll be back next year, and they still got a formidable lineup. But now it's on to California, and I say California because as we record this on Friday, the 11th, we do not know who the Mets are going to play. They're going to play the Padres or the Dodgers, who were tied at 2-2. They will settle that tonight, but I wanted to get a show out, so we do not know. But look, at this point of the season, the postseason, it is a crapshoot. It's a tournament, and the Mets are a hot team. And it really kind of doesn't matter who they play. They were 5-2 against the Padres this season, and 2-4 against the Dodgers this season. So based on that, you'd say you'd rather see the Padres, but then the Dodgers have a lot of injuries. Freddie Freeman's not 100%. Their pitching staff is not been very good. So, it doesn't matter, though, because the Mets are hot right now and going to get some much-needed rest before going into this series. So that is the key right now. Their pitching, they'll be able to line up their pitching as they want to. The bullpen will be rested. So everything looks good going in to this next series for the Mets. I do kind of worry a little bit about the layoff now. They're going to have a couple days off. They're not used to that. They've been playing almost every day. So, sometimes that's a good thing because you're used to going. Now they're going to have a couple of days off, so we'll see how that works out. But, geez, who expected it? This is just a wonderful run, and nobody ever expected this. And anybody would have taken this earlier in the year or in the off season, we would have been happy for this. We all thought that this was going to be a transition year. They even said it was going to be, but that they were going to be in contention. Well, we didn't think. When they said contention, we didn't think it would possibly go this far. But here we are now in the NLCS. We're in the middle of October. There's only 2 series left. Just think of that. 4 teams will be remaining after we get these other games out of the way. By Saturday night, Sunday morning, 4 teams will be remaining. And one of them is the New York Mets and the New York Yankees. So we could have another Subway Series if things played out that way. Cleveland and Detroit have to settle theirs. And as I said, the Padres and the Dodgers will settle it tonight. So the Mets are 25% of the teams remaining. Going to be remaining. So, they're playing for the pennant now, folks. And who would have expected that earlier, and especially with the way they started 0-5, 11 games under 500. Got hot in June this year. Last year, 2023, it was the June swoon that killed them. This year, it was June that helped propel them back into this pennant race, and 65-40 from that point on, the best record in baseball. So who knows? Maybe they are the best team in baseball right now. It remains to be seen, of course, but boy, you can't get any more exciting than this. And these guys deserve all the credit for it. And Steve Cohen with the job he's done. He was all excited. Steve Gelbs talked to him in the clubhouse, and he said that it just gets better and better. You got to love what these guys are doing. They were getting guys on base every inning, and it was just a matter of time. He was talking about the first 2 innings of Game 4. Mets had the bases loaded. Couldn't get the big hit, but, of course, they eventually did. He's been a loyal fan, Steve Cohen has, and he spent the money. Look, you can't argue with what he did. People were down on him when they got rid of the salaries last year, but they went in a different direction, brought in David Stearns, and Stearns, another guy. He has done a remarkable job with this team, putting together this team. You can say what you will, but he went through a lot of guys. He brought guys in and got rid of guys that didn't seem to mesh maybe as well, and weeded it out and picked and did this and that and the other thing, and really got a team together that has played terrific baseball and has looked great. And on to the NLCS. I don't know what else to say. All right, and so interesting things with the NLCS. After that thrilling playoff series, 2 of them with the Brewers and the Phillies, Jeff McNeil is a good shot. He's likely to be on the roster and to come back. Now, there's 2 schools of thoughts with this. Do you want to mess with the chemistry as it is now? Or do you want to bring back a proven guy that could maybe help you? I say bring him back. He could be a big help. Iglesias has been playing great baseball, but he's been struggling a little bit at the plate. It could be a little fatigue thing. So maybe you get McNeil to play second in the game, give him a blow. That would be a big thing. The fact that McNeil can go play in the outfield too could be a big thing for this team as well. It would mean that they could give guys rests or better defense, perhaps. It probably would mean pushing Nimmo to center and have Taylor in right, or Marte and McNeil in left, get a little bit more offense. McNeil is a left-handed bat, so it's another bat, a left-handed bat coming off the bench. So there is that possibility as well to bring him in for that. Lots of things that they can do with McNeil. That's why I think he will be on the roster. He is going to the Arizona Fall League, which is in playing now. The minor leagues have stopped, but the Arizona Fall League is playing, and they received permission to let him go there. He will play tonight and tomorrow, and if he can play 9 innings, it looks like he will be on the Mets roster for the NLCS. Who gets bumped? Probably Acuna. He's a young guy. He's had 2 at-bats. He struck out both times. You can't drag nothing. can't take nothing from that. That doesn't mean anything right now. It's his first series. He's performed very well, in the clutch run, the run up to the end of the season, and his future's ahead of him. But if it's McNeil, versus him, you'd like to go with a little bit more experience with McNeil, and McNeil, as I said, gives you the option for the outfield as well. So it just gives Mendoza more things to juggle. But Acuna would probably be on the taxi squad if somebody got hurt. He'll be there. And look, he's had a couple at bats. He struck out both times. That's okay. He's played well in the field. I think he had a couple of chances in the field, and he handled them. So we know about Acuna, and happy with that. But it's, if we can get another lefty bat in the lineup, that could be very big. So keep that in mind as well. All right, we will take a break and be back. Let me find it now. Right after this.
Baseball and BBQ, your place for interesting baseball talk, opinions, and history.
Baseball and BBQ, your place for barbecue recipes, tips, and interviews from the world of barbecue. If you like baseball and if you like barbecue, then tune in to Baseball and BBQ. Find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and BaseballTalkRadio.com.
Okay, and we are back and looking forward to the NLCS and who will pitch Game 1. Mets look like it could be Kodai Senga again and David Peterson to back him up. Though Sean Manaea will be on 5 days rest. Severino will be on an extra day or two rest. So lots of options there. My guess will be that they would start Senga. However, don't be surprised if he starts Manaea. I think it will really determine which team they're playing and who they think matches up better with that team. Because you'd like to get that first win, whether in L.A. or San Diego. It worked in Philadelphia. And, the Mets kind of broke their pattern here in this 5-game series because they won the first game of the doubleheader against the Braves to get into the playoffs. Then against the Brewers, once they were in, they won Game 1 and 3 to move on to the NLCS. And then they won Games 1, 3, and 4. So they had an odd... They had an odd game pattern going there, and moved it to even number, winning Game 4. But we were happy because that ended that and got them into the next round. So just an exciting time for the New York Mets and for their fans. And it's what can you say? It's just a terrific thing. The way they've been playing, and hopefully they can continue. It'd be lovely to get to the World Series against the Yankees or the Cleveland Guardians or the Detroit Tigers, any of those teams, but just to get to the World Series. And but let's not look ahead. Let's be happy with the NLCS now, and hopefully we can pull up a pennant and bring it back to Citi Field. And I think that's going to wrap it up. It's a quick show, but boy, I just wanted to get one out. So we'll see who the Mets will play tonight. We'll find out who their opponent will be in California. Not a bad deal. They can fly out there, stay in L.A. or San Diego. They're reasonably close. Get some practice in maybe out in California instead of flying out at the last minute. My guess would be that they would be flying out either today or tomorrow. And just tomorrow they would know for sure where they were going. But that would be my guess. But we'll see how it all shakes out. I guess the Dodgers are a favorite now. I don't know. They're going back to L.A. to play Game 5, so usually your home team, you figure, would be the favorite to win. But it's been some series so far between those two teams, and we'll see how it shakes out tonight. All right. That's going to wrap it up for this week's show. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you'll join me every episode of Mets Musings. We've been doing this a long time and continue to do it, and I'll continue to do it as long as I possibly can. So check us out on YouTube and Rumble, and on YouTube, please leave a like and hit the subscribe button so you always know when an episode of Mets Musings is coming out. Same thing on Rumble. Hit the follow button and the subscription button. And if you're listening to the audio version, we are on all of the audio podcasts apps: Spotify, Google Play, Apple Podcasts. I can't even remember. I said Spotify. All of them. So tell your friends and family to go check out Mets Musings. So until next time, remember, keep the faith, stay optimistic, and let's go Mets. And I'm Gary Mack, and I'll see you next time on another edition of Mets Musings.